Good morning. So I was just thinking about this creative tension dilemma that I mentioned in some previous video. The tension about how do I stay transparent and minimal as a brand and preserve the whole we are invisible identity, but at the same time not put myself in a creative prison because I'm an artist in heart. I was a music producer before I did perfumery, and in addition to that, I'm neurodivergent. I have like two neurodivergent traits, so I'm attracted both to novelty and structure and systems and rhythms and things that don't change. So I have to build this brand in such a way that I do stay in brand, but I don't create myself a mental prison, which I've done before in the past by trying to put myself in a very rigid identity. So I was thinking, how do I combine this? And the main question is, how do we stay invisible yet still allow for creative expression? The short answer is we avoid permanent signatures that create a brand recognition, because we don't want our brand or our objects to say anything about the customer. We just want to be a tool. We just want to be an enhancer, a booster in their life to help them align with who they are. We're not here to say, oh, you're this, you're that. So for the brand itself, we simply want to get out of their way. We don't want to force them into an identity with fonts, with colors, with bottle shapes, with slogans. We want none of that. One question we can ask when we're designing the bottles is, would someone show off the bottle as a way of signaling their own virtues? Or would they possibly show off the brand just because they like the object, they think it's beautiful, and it doesn't say anything about them? If it does say something about them, then we have gone off brand. This is how we can check ourselves. This is important when you're building your own brand. You need to build in different filters and questions that you can ask yourself to stay in brand, because there will be decisions you have to make. And unless you have these kinds of filters, you'll just make random decisions. You won't really know what to do, or you'll spend a lot of time making the same decisions again and again, which you could speed up if you just had filters that you design based on your brand strategy. On the left side, you can see this was like, I just put it together very quickly to map my thoughts. Is my product line, the product architecture, is going to consist mainly of discovery kits. So there's going to be a mini discovery kit, 2 mil, there's going to be, or 5 mil, and there's going to be a main discovery kit. This is like the main product. For most brands, that would be maybe 30 mil. For our brand, the main product is a 10 mil discovery set. Sure, you could get like a single scent 10 mil, and these are going to be roller bottles. They're not going to be sprays. The sprays are going to be the 2 mil because, well, they're more affordable, and the kind of person who would buy this mini discovery set is somebody who either is really uncommitted, so they don't want to spend a lot of money and they don't care about the quality as much, they just want to test the scent, or somebody who knows they'll get bored of them quickly because they get bored of everything quickly. So that's why we need to think about the customer. And the single scent is, let's say at first you buy this and then you like, I like the wolf scent or the 20K, and you buy that separately. Or maybe you don't want to commit to the discovery set, so you just buy one 10 mil, which is more affordable. But where this brand truly starts to shine is the collection pieces. The way I'm going to balance out my own internal conflicts of wanting two opposite things, of wanting a system and the same bottles, and also wanting something unique and artistic. How I'm going to balance this is that the discovery sets are going to be the first version. They're going to be the clean, they're going to be the transparent, super minimal, and they're aimed towards the people who are just entering the brand. They don't know if they like it yet. They don't know if they like any of the scents. They don't want to commit and waste their money. So they buy one of these, one of the smaller discovery sets or whatever, and then once they've tried them and they really like them, if they do, they would buy a collection piece. That would be at least 30 mil, maybe we can do 50, but they would buy a collection piece, probably more than 30 mil, because 30 is quite small, right? So maybe 50, but the idea is that this collection piece would be very unique, because our customer our ideal customer profile is that this person is aesthetically driven and detail oriented. They are collectors of things, or at least they would enjoy to have a really beautiful object in their home. This object is almost like a trophy. And when I say object, I mean the bottle and the box, the packaging. It will be unique to that specific scent, or maybe a scent line. But the idea is that there would be variety, not on the discovery set level or the single scent level. There would only be a variety on the higher levels. And you might think, how is this supposed to stay in brand? How are you going to maintain your brand if every bottle is different or every line is different? Wouldn't this feel too messy or something like that? But that is the point, is that we don't want to be recognizable as a brand. Invisibility on its own becomes the brand. It's like counterintuitive. But if every scent on the collection level, not the discovery set level, if every scent has a radically different design language, you cannot look at a bottle and say, oh, this is RJS. This is that invisible brand. You don't know, because you just, like, what is this? The only signature that we leave behind is going to be our logo on the inside of the cap. And it's not like the logo is something everybody knows. Only if you know the brand, you know that this is the logo. This builds almost like an inside circle that the people who own this brand, if they look at the cap, they might recognize the bottle, but only if they look at the cap they can be sure that this is the brand. Each of these collection pieces will have almost like a mystery status, because I'm not going to launch with these available. When I launch this brand, I won't have a collection piece already available for each of the scents. Because first of all, if I do that without knowing who is the person buying the discovery set, I would be guessing, and the collection piece is not going to resonate with that person. Sure, I could make it just what I want, and when I do end up launching the collector level, it would be partially inspired by my own artistic expression, but I would take in consideration who is the person buying. For example, if I notice that a very specific segment of people are usually buying the scent, then my direction for the artistic expression is going to shift so that I can align better with these people, and it's going to inspire me as well. For example, maybe I see that the Bloodline scent is loved in the sports community or something like that. So maybe the bottle would be inspired by sports in some shape or form. I'm not saying that it will be. I'm not saying that it has to be. I'm just saying that without knowing who is the customer, without knowing who is the usual customer for this scent, the choice is less connected who the customer is, and in turn, it will be harder to sell it. I was just trying to say that the main product for the brand is this discovery set or the single 10ml roller bottle. And the collector pieces are more like artifacts, mystery items that I would drop once in a while. It's possible that they are limited edition, and not because I'm testing them, but because the limited edition status plays well with the ideal customer profile, because they don't want what everybody else has. So if we're going to sell the collector items forever, why would they want to get it? It no longer feels special. It no longer feels like I'm the only person who has this. Now, whether or not it's going to be a limited edition forever, or maybe like a seasonal thing or something like that, we will get to that when we start to launch. But right now in this video, I just wanted to explain how I'm going to approach this tension, this creative tension that I have within myself, where, like I said, I want to stay in brand, but I also want to express myself. And maybe I don't want to always have the same kind of bottle. Maybe I want to have a skull-shaped cap instead of this cylindrical silver cap. Maybe I want something like that. Now I'm thinking the collector pieces, they don't even have to be 30ml. Because the idea is not you're buying more. The idea is you're buying this special object that nobody else has, and it's like art almost. For example, let's say I make the Bloodline scent and I really love it, and the liquid turns out to be some kind of red-ish color, and then instead of using the silver cylindrical cap, I would put a red glass skull as the cap, and that would be a collector item. Yes, you can still get the regular Bloodline discovery set. Like if you really love this scent, you can get this collection piece. If it wasn't already clear enough, because I feel like I'm going all kinds of places, I'm going to approach this creative tension by limiting the creativity in the discovery set levels and then letting myself express freely in the collection levels. This way I can have both stay in brand for the things that matter and at the same time satisfy those people who want to own something beautiful, who do appreciate art, and who really resonate with the brand of having no brand. So in a way, our archetype is rebel, and the second archetype is magician plus artistic. The artistic would be almost like a third archetype, but I'm not sure how much. Probably not too much because it's only visible in the collector pieces where they're different, but magician also covers that in a way because magic is about having something special and transformation and mystery, and you never know what the collection piece is going to be because each collection piece, I think I'm using the word collection and collector interchangeably, but each collector piece would be truly unique. You never know what this brand is going to do next in the collector piece area. That's all I had to say for this.